How to speak when you're scared of being wrong. You had something to say, but you didn't say it. Not because you had nothing to say, but because you might be wrong. You let it go. You held it in. You rewrote the whole conversation in your head again and again. Why? Because you've learned that speaking up means one of two things. Either you're going to prove how smart you are or how stupid. And since nobody asked for an opinion on which one you'd like to prove, you defaulted to silence. So let me get it straight. You stay quiet, not because you have nothing to say, but because you've learned that saying something and being wrong equals being less intelligent, less credible, less worthy. That means the default setting for many of us is to stay silent when we have something to say. The voice in your head that says, "You will sound stupid," does not care whether or not what you're about to say is actually wrong. It just cares that you stay safe. We fear being wrong because we learned that mistakes mean shame, not growth. It is impossible to live without failing at something, says J.K. Rowling, unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all. Problem is, silence isn't an option if you want to show up for yourself. In fact, it's the opposite of courage. And if you want to live a life that's rich and deep and real, then yeah, you're gonna mess up. But the secret to moving forward is to not let the fear of messing up keep you stuck. What do we do? When you're scared of being wrong, let's call this what it is: fear of being judged. You weren't just scared of being wrong. You were scared that someone would see you be wrong. Scared your words would land and the room would go silent. Scared of eyes. Scared of laughter. Scared of correction. When you get down to it, there's no such thing as being wrong. There's such thing as being right, being wrong, being open to being wrong. Because here's the thing. No one gets strong by only lifting what they know. You don't grow by being right. You grow by being real. So what's the solution? Don't aim to be perfect. Aim to be honest. Don't aim to never mess up. Aim to speak your truth with the risk of error. That is more powerful than silence soaked in fear. Now let's talk about eyes. You're worried about what they'll say. But here is the funny thing. Often what feels like being wrong is just being vulnerable in public. And vulnerability is not a bad thing. Vulnerability is a good thing. Now, if you want to know how to speak when you're scared of being wrong, you speak anyway. Not loudly, not perfectly, but clearly from where you are now. Here's what I think. I might be wrong. This is what I've noticed. What do you think? I don't know if this will come out right, but that's not weakness. That's strength with humility. It's hard to argue with someone who says, I might be wrong, but they're willing to risk looking like they are. And you know what? They might be wrong, but they're not less than you because of it. They're more. They're more courageous than you. They're more brave than you. They're more real than you. And I know you want to be real. In fact, that's why you're watching videos like this one. So practice speaking from where you are. Don't wait for the perfect time. Don't wait for the right words. Don't wait for everything to be exactly how you want it to be before you start saying what you need to say. Because here is the secret. The most powerful thing you will ever learn is how to be wrong and still be whole. So speak up, even if your voice shakes, because one day you will look back and realize the most powerful thing you ever said was the thing you almost didn't. You don't find your voice by waiting. You find it by using it. If you enjoyed this video, please give it the thumbs up and subscribe for more thought-provoking content. Thank you for watching.